Have you ever wondered why some people can remember huge amounts of information, while others have difficulty retaining simple facts? Today, we will reveal the secrets of the memorization techniques used by the most successful people in the world. Get ready to learn techniques that will change the way you think about memory forever. Let's go back to ancient Greece, where the first mnemonic techniques were born. It was there that the loci method appeared, a technique that is still considered one of the most effective. Roman orators used it to memorize long speeches without a single piece of paper. How does it work? Imagine a familiar room, your house or apartment. Now mentally walk through it, placing important information in certain places. Your brain remembers spatial connections very well. When you need to remember information, just mentally walk along this route again. World record holders in memorization use this technique. Let's look at real-life examples of how these techniques work in real life. Take Joshua 4, a journalist who decided to experiment with memorization techniques. In just 1 year, he went from being an ordinary person to a world champion in memorization. He could learn a sequence of 1,000 numbers in an hour and memorize the order of an entire deck of cards in 1 minute and 40 seconds. His secret? The method of locations and vivid associations. Or, let's remember the story of the Greek poet Simonides of Chios, who lived in the 5th century BC. He is considered the founder of the location method. One day he was speaking at a feast when suddenly the building collapsed, all the guests. But Simonides was able to pinpoint where each of the feast's participants was sitting, simply by mentally reconstructing the room. Thus was born one of the most powerful memorization techniques. Our brain loves images and stories. Try to associate new information with something you already know. For example, to remember the name of a new friend, Alexander, imagine him as an ancient Greek warrior with a spear. The brighter and more unusual the association, the better it will be remembered. This technique is based on creating a chain of associations. Imagine that you need to remember a shopping list. Bread, milk, apples. Create a story. A loaf of bread is floating in milk, and apples are floating around it. A ridiculous picture? That's exactly why it will be so memorable. There are also lesser known but no less effective techniques. For example, the context switching method. If you study the material in different settings, at home, in a cafe, in the park, the information is remembered better. Why? Because your brain creates more connections. Or the time walk method. Imagine that you are traveling back or forward in time and meeting characters who represent the information you need. This method is especially useful for remembering historical events or scientific discoveries. Our fingers are great tools for memorization. For example, many musicians use them to remember chords. You can assign important information to each finger. This is especially useful for numerical data. Richard Feynman, the Nobel laureate, said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it." Try explaining a complex concept to a child or writing it down in your own words. This process deeply cements knowledge. Forgetting is a natural process, but it can be tricked. Use spaced repetitions. Repeat the material after 1 day, 3 days, a week, a month. This will create strong neural connections. Did you know that our brains can store information equivalent to about 2.5 million gigabytes? That's like 300 years of watching HD video non-stop. The problem isn't the amount of memory, it's how we organize information. Another amazing fact: people remember visual information much better than text. According to research, 3 days after reading a text, we remember only about 10% of the information. But if you add an image, this figure increases to 65%. Don't forget about the condition of your body. Regular sleep, proper nutrition, and physical activity significantly improve memory. Protein, omega-3 fatty acids, and antioxidants are especially important. Train your memory every day. Start with something simple. Remember car numbers, faces of passers-by, interior details. Play chess, solve crosswords, learn new languages. Memory is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. Now, imagine how these techniques can help you in modern life. For example, they will help students easily remember complex terms and formulas. Imagine that you need to learn the periodic table. Turn each element into a character. Hydrogen is a balloon, iron is a knight in armor, gold is a king with a crown. Place them in a familiar room using the location method. Businessmen can use these techniques to remember the names of clients and partners. Imagine that you are meeting with Mr. Baker. Mentally put a chef's hat on him and imagine him baking bread. Such a vivid association is guaranteed to remain in your memory. Emotions are a powerful catalyst for memorization. Information associated with strong emotions is remembered much better. Therefore, try to create an emotional connection with the material being studied. The most effective results are achieved by combining several techniques at the same time. For example, use the location method together with visualization and associations. The more channels of perception you use, the stronger your memories will be. It is important to understand that there are common mistakes when trying to improve memory. The first is multitasking. When you try to study material while simultaneously checking social networks or watching TV, the effectiveness of memorization drops by 40%. The second mistake is cramming. Many people think that the longer they sit over a textbook, the better they will remember the material. In fact, short but regular sessions are much more effective. The ideal time for one session is 25 to 30 minutes followed by a break. Remember, memory development is a skill that is available to everyone. It does not matter how old you are or what your level of training is. The main thing is to start acting right now. Even 10 to 15 minutes of daily practice can bring amazing results in just a few weeks. Imagine how your life will change when you can easily remember the names of new acquaintances, important dates, professional terms, or foreign words. You will become more self-confident, productive, and successful. Now you know the secrets that the best minds of humanity use. But remember, the main thing is regular practice. Start small and gradually increase the load. In a few weeks, you will be surprised how much better your memory has become. Share this video with your friends. Let them learn these powerful techniques too. Now you have all the tools to develop a phenomenal memory. Start small. Choose one technique and practice on simple material. Then gradually add new methods and complicate the tasks. Share this video with your friends. Learning is always more fun together. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive new useful materials on self-development and efficiency. Your brain is the most powerful computer in the world. Give it the right tools, and it will amaze you with its capabilities.